Before writing, people beat drums to talk to the gods. The sound of the drum was not just for listening. It guided tribes through the jungle, called for rain, drove away evil spirits, and awakened the spirits of the mountains. And to this day, it has never been silent. A pot of boiling lime water is poured over the raw animal skin. The heat rises, softening each tendon. The skin is folded, covered, and soaked deeply. In the traditional art of drum making, not just any type of skin is chosen. Buffalo skin thick, strong, deep sound resonates far. Cow skin soft, easy to stretch, suitable for ceremonial drums. Deer or deer skin thin, bright sound used in traditional dance and music. When the last layer of hair is removed, the skin is washed again with water so that there is no more smell of lime, no more hair. Now, the craftsman uses a flat knife to gently remove the remaining layer of fat under the skin surface. This layer of fat seems harmless, but even a little bit left is enough to make the drum sound dull, heavy, and noisy. Once the last layer of fat is scraped off, the hide is now clean, soft, and evenly colored. The worker begins to stretch the hide out to dry for 3 months. The drum body is the resonance chamber that makes the sound come alive. The craftsman chooses a block of Sequoia wood, a rare redwood, light but durable, capable of holding sound and enriching the tone. This is one of the oldest and tallest trees ever recorded. Not only does it live for thousands of years, the Sequoia trunk also has thick wood grain, fine grain, high natural resonance. Each piece of red wood is sawed out, straight, strong, even like the heartbeat of the craftsman. Not using modern machinery, but using a hand saw and a feeling from experience. He splits the wood into rough planks, preparing to assemble them into the cylinder of the drum body. Each plank is a slice of history, a piece of the puzzle for the majestic drum sound of the future. Each piece of wood, after being sawn, is still rough and uneven. The craftsman gently planes each line, each layer, not to remove the wood, but to find the shape of the drum hidden inside that block of wood. Each movement is as regular as breathing. The planer glides across, leaving the wood surface smooth and shiny, as smooth as silk. Here, technique is not just a profession, but a respect for the material, for the drum sound that will come from these very wood fibers. The smooth boards are returned to their proper positions. But to join them together requires not only technique, but also an adhesive as strong as time, cowhide glue. This glue is made from real cowhide. After many hours of concentration, it becomes a strong, flexible, natural adhesive. The craftsman carefully applies the glue to each edge of the board, pressing it tightly to the blank mold. After each board is assembled, the craftsman uses a large rope to tighten around the drum body to secure it, so that the entire wooden structure is pressed together, slowly bonding as a unified whole. The drum body is brought out for sawing, carefully cutting off excess wood, uneven edges, and unnecessary warps. The drum body, after being shaped, is still rough and bumpy. The craftsman begins the process of smoothing, leaving the surface smooth and silky like skin, full of sound. Gently and slowly, polishing the entire block of dry wood into a shape that carries the soul of the drum beat. After drying, the skin is as hard as a rock. But to become a drumhead, it needs to be softened with water. The craftsman takes the skin to the riverbank, fixes the corners, places large rocks on top, lets the skin lie still under the water 3 days and 3 nights without moving. During those 3 days, the water not only softens the skin but also washes away time, softening the hardness. 3 days have passed under the river. The skin is now soft, moist, and has the breath of water. The craftsman gently collects it. The skin is brought back, shaken clean, stretched lightly, and put out in the sun to dry, without tearing, without shrinking, without distortion. When it reaches the right dryness and elasticity, the craftsman meticulously cuts the leather into a circle. Not a single millimeter is wasted. Not a single corner is wasted. The circle symbolizes perfection, the circle of flawless life. And in drumming, it is also the vortex of sound, where every rhythm begins and ends. When the circle is perfect, the craftsman begins to mark and use a chisel to punch each hole. These small holes, seemingly invisible, but they will determine whether the drum sound is round and resonant or distorted and broken. The craftsman begins to thread each iron pin through the skin, a process that requires absolute dexterity and precision. Each hole is an important link to evenly stretch the drum surface, creating a resonant and balanced sound later on. Next, thick ropes are tied tightly to each pin. The craftsman tightens them evenly, stretching the cowhide down the drum body as if embracing a solid block of wood. This is the step that shapes the sound. The more evenly the rope is stretched, the stronger and more resonant the drum sounds. But to make the drum sound far and strong, tension is the deciding factor. The craftsman uses a special wooden tool, inserts it between 2 strings and twists it tightly, layer by layer of force, making the drum surface as taut as a bowstring. Finally, to secure the leather, the craftsman hammers nails into each key point. Each tap not only secures the surface, but also conveys the passion, preparing an instrument that is both a sacred object and a source of cultural pride. Once firmly fixed, the excess skin is no longer needed. Each sharp knife stroke is decisively cut off the rough edges, restoring the drum face to its neatness, solemnity, and precision down to every line. Each step is repeated, but not carelessly. The back of the drum is also stretched, strung, tightened, and carefully trimmed. Because to the craftsman, each drum face carries a soul. If there is just a slight difference, the sound will no longer be as round as expected. Finally, a deep red paint is applied evenly to the drum body. Each brushstroke is a crystallization of sweat, patience, and pride. After many intricate manual steps, the drum is officially completed, majestic, full, and ready to resonate with the sounds of a 1,000-year tradition.